Welcome to Making Herstory. This isn't polished success stories. This is the fire, the chaos, the gut punch truth of women who refuse to play small. The real, feral stories. The messy, bold, audacious stories that flip the table and set shit on fire. This is where we roar. It's Ashley Crabb. Buckle up, babe. We're making herstory. Hello, my business babes, and welcome back to another feral episode of Making Herstory, the only podcast where we bring feral female CEOs together to not just tell their stories, but roar them. We are here to share the nitty-gritty, the pivoting points, the audacity that we show up with every single day. And in case we haven't met yet, my name's Ashley Crabb. I am the only story-driven experience curator who helps female entrepreneurs transform their personal stories into unforgettable brands and community spaces, retreats, memberships, events that build belonging, trust, and visibility. I am so excited to have you on today's episode because I have the one and only Erica from the Wardrobe Staple. I met Erica about 1.5 years ago, and it's been amazing to see her business transform and see her transform and become a very pivotal part of this community. She is a personal stylist helping moms, and I'm going to let her, without further ado, introduce herself a little bit more. Hi, Erica.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome.
I am Erica with the Wardrobe Staple. I help women, specifically moms, find their style, really help them find themselves, get back to themselves after having kids. That's kind of how I got started, really feeling lost after I had kids.
No, tell us about it now. Go for it.
All right. Yeah, so for myself, it started, I would say after my first kid, but my son, I didn't really realize what was going on until I had my daughter 2 years later. But yeah, they rocked my world. I couldn't put my finger on it, like something just felt off. And it was that constant cycle of just being caught up in sweats and leggings and the spit up stained sweatshirts. And so out of that, I kind of created this business. Once I figured out what was going on with myself, I realized once I was getting dressed and actually loving the things in my closet, and I kind of walked through that process myself, I turned it into my business to help women then find their style and really just dress the way they want to show up and be seen in the world.
I love that. Yeah. I love that so much. And you hit something so real there. My children also rocked my world. Like, I think children rock all of our world, right? It's like whiplash.
Yes.
And as someone who, I would say, I am not necessarily like a fashionista. I feel like I'm slowly becoming one. It's fun. But I worked out of the home before I had kids. And so every day, Monday through Friday, I was getting up and I was getting a shower and putting some sort of makeup on, my hair, that sort of thing. And then when I had my twins, it's like I became a stay-at-home mom. So I wasn't leaving the home for work every day, but like you nailed it. Like, I mean, our bodies change. Like that's a no-brainer. But like, I don't want to say those first 3 months after postpartum, but like, that first time after postpartum, like your body's changing and fluctuating constantly. And like you said, I mean, you're taking care of these brand new human beings with all of these bodily fluids that you don't know when are going to
right.
Sorry for the graphicness, but we're all moms here, or women at least, maybe men, sorry, not sorry. And like, I don't want to say it's depressing because that sounds so sad, but like, it's hard. It's hard.
You don't have a handle on, it feels like anything. Like you are taking care of this baby, trying to keep it alive, trying to keep it from screaming, just trying to keep it happy, and that's number one only focus. Everything else is out the window.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think I realized before kids And I don't want to say this and make anyone think like you need to dress a certain way, or like your hair needs to be a certain way, or you need to put makeup on, or like anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. If like you have some funky leggings and pretty t-shirts that you love wearing, that's awesome. And I love that for you. But I think I didn't realize how important it was for me to get ready in some sort of sense.
Yeah.
Like to change out of my clothes, to wash my face, and like I just didn't realize how important that basic self-care was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like I lost it a lot too when I first had my kids.
I remember with my son, he was born during COVID, so we really weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get him to sleep. Like, I couldn't lay him down and get him to sleep. He'd be right back up. So I held him all the time. Every nap, I was holding him. And so it'd be the two of us on the couch. And so I would turn on the TV, and I started binging. It's Real Housewives of New York City. I don't know if you've ever watched The Real Housewives, but I have not. I've started from season 1, so I can tell you, season 1, it's not so glamorous. But as the seasons go on, it's over the top, full glam, outfits done, hair, makeup, everything. Like, they're not getting on camera. It's not real.
Okay, gotcha.
But this is what I was watching for just hours every day. He would nap, and he'd take 3-4 naps a day.
Yep.
I would turn it on, and I'm just sitting there in my sweats watching these women like walk around New York City, and I just remember thinking, like, I cannot wait until I can get dressed. I cannot wait until I would say I can't wait until things are back to normal. I don't even know what that meant.
Right.
But yeah, it was just like, that's all I was doing, just watching these women. I was like, I can't wait to like put on a pair of jeans again.
Yeah, that's so raw and real. That is so raw. And I also, I mean, I love that you made that statement, like, this is not real TV. Like, these women have a whole team. They pay their bills.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm sure if we had someone dressing us and doing our hair, it would make it so much easier, right?
Yes.
But they're still real people doing real life things.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's so interesting because too, I mean, I think I can appreciate that because not necessarily in a sense where you were like, oh, I'm going to start gallivanting around New York City. Like, I can't wait for this. What's normal? Like, we know that's not our normal, but like, but we never want to go. We can't go back to pre-babies, right? And like that's not necessarily the dream or the goal by any means.
Yeah.
And like whether we feel like we lost ourselves or we feel like we need to define this new sense of what is normal. Like I think that's actually the bigger thing. Like we had this standard for normal before when we just had to take care of ourselves. And now we have to redefine what this standard of normal looks like. And I mean, so how long do you, so you said after your second kiddo is when you really started to kind of shift back. Yeah. Make this shift, make this pivot. What did that kind of transformation feel like? I mean, what kind of things did you start doing to kind of, I personally, and this isn't like everyone gets to define it their own way. I don't necessarily look at it as like losing myself, but like learning about this new person.
Yeah.
So like, but no matter which way you say it, it's nothing right or wrong. But like, when did you start finding yourself again? Like, how did that process happen, and what did it look like? Besides binge watching TV, I miss that, by the way. I don't think I've binge watched a show since my kids were like 6 months old.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what with my son, his name is Luca. He was born in 2020, and it was just, like I said, I was caught up in that. I would scroll on my phone trying to like online shop. I would buy this stuff, never wore any of it. And then fast forward to 2022 is when my daughter Ava was born. And by that time I knew, like, I had realized that like not getting out of the house, watching TV, like it did not work for me. So with her, obviously we could leave. We're not in the height of COVID anymore. So I made a point to like get out of the house with her, take walks, we would go places, and I was actually getting dressed. Like I wasn't just staying in leggings. So I realized that helped, but then it kind of shifted. I wasn't so much binging TV, but this is when I would be, if I was like scrolling Instagram and it was like influencer after influencer, like need this, have this, buy this. And it was like, oh, that's cute. All right, I'll get this. Like, all right, yeah, I need a sweater. This is on sale. And I would end up with all this stuff. And then I would go into my closet. I'm trying to find something to wear. And I've just got all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, what is this? How did this get here? What am I doing with this? And that's kind of where that started. Like, I was just kind of fed up. Like, at this point, I was getting dressed, but I was fed up that I was just kind of sick of my clothes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's such a good. I'm over here laughing because the height of my Amazon shopping when I when I was a new mom, because you're like up at all odd hours, like you said, like you're like, okay, I've binge watched enough TV, now I'm gonna scroll my phone.
Yeah.
And I did. It's funny that you say that because I did the same thing, like in like this effort to try, like to put effort in, you know. I was like, okay, these things seem trendy, or like other moms are doing it, or like this is the mom style. And I would just buy random shit on the internet and then get it the next morning, you know, after I wasn't awake at 2 a.m. And I would be like, okay, we're going to try this out. Like, I guess it'll work. And then, like you're pinning like exactly what happened to me when like things kind of leveled out a little bit, and like everybody could walk, or like, you know, we could be left alone for a few minutes or things like that. Like I would go to my closet and it would be filled, and like my sister would even be like, wow, you have a lot of clothes. I'm like, I don't want to talk about my closet. Here's the thing. I don't want to talk about my closet shopping addiction, since Erica knows about it, but like, yeah, it's real, and I don't love any of this. And like, not only my thing wasn't even like, I'm frustrated, I don't have anything. I was also like, I just wasted all that freaking money. Like, this is a waste. Like, this is consumerism at its finest, where like I'm not being intentional, I'm not being, you know, ethical in any sense of the word. Like, I'm being very wasteful and not being mindful. And I have, I've dwindled down my closet. My closet's in my office, so, you know, but I've dwindled it down, because it's just like, and I'm trying to, you know, slowly and intentionally rebuild it again, but it's because I'm finally at this leveled out point where I'm like, what is all of this stuff? Why did I do this? So you kind of just dove in then, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like I would say like an accidental, on purpose pigeonhole. Like I said, like I was frustrated and fed up, and it kind of started with like a podcast I heard around sustainability and just all this waste and where are all these clothes going. And so that kind of flipped a switch. I was like, okay, I don't want to just be buying random things just to have them either take up space in my closet, or even if I'm donating them, like, where's that stuff ending up? So if I'm going to buy something, it's going to be something I'm going to be wearing for the long haul. And so like from that podcast, that led me then to like different books, and then like I would just look up different things online. Like I was, on Instagram, instead of following as many influencers as I was, I kind of switched to, I would follow like celebrity stylists and see what they were doing, and then that led me to maybe not celebrity stylists, but people that are kind of now doing similar things to what I'm doing, but in bigger cities, and that's kind of how it snowballed.
I love that. I love that so much. But I know, since I know you like a little more personally, fashion has always been something that you've had somewhat of a passion for, right? Yes.
So now we're going back to high school. Like that's what, when I would like had to choose something, that's what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to go into fashion journalism. Like I loved the movie Devil Wears Prada. I was like, that's what I want, like minus the Miranda Priestley. I don't think I could handle that, but that's how I envisioned it. I was like, that's what I want to do. And so my senior year, when it was like, you know, you're supposed to be choosing your major and all these things, I was taking a journalism class and I was taking an accounting class. And I mean, like I liked them both. They were fine. And so I said, like, I want to do fashion journalism. And my parents, like, it's not that they what's the word, not disapproved or told me I couldn't do that, but it was, okay, well, this is the reality of going into journalism versus accounting. And at 18, I'm like, well, all I want to do is get out of this house. Like, I want to have my own place. Like, I want to move out. Like, from what you're saying, like, journalism maybe isn't so stable, whereas accounting is, and accounting's not so bad. And so that's how we ended up with an accounting major, going into studying accounting.
Right, with this underlying huge passion of of something else.
Yes, I really just want to be looking at clothes all day.
But so tell us because I know your story, like, tell us a little bit more about that. So, like, during all of this transformational occurrence of where you were like, I want to be more intentional with my wardrobe, I want to be more, mindful of my style, you were working, right?
Yes. So at this point I was working full-time as a CPA. And so I was, like I said, would be on the weekends, or even like listening to a podcast at work, or so, like I said, about the sustainability, things like that. But I remember it had to have been like November, December 2023, like doing just a major closet clean out, taking out the things that I wasn't wearing, I didn't like, and just really getting serious, like writing down how I wanted to feel in my clothes, how I wanted to look, how I wanted to show up and present myself, getting rid of anything that didn't align with that, and then kind of making lists for myself of like things that I felt like I would need that would help me create that picture of myself that I wanted. So yeah, like that was late 2023. And then my business was born early 2024. And even that was kind of a pivot. Like I said, I was looking to do something different, to kind of get out of accounting. But when I thought about maybe doing something on my own, even that, it wasn't fashion related. I was at the time thinking about doing something around like financial literacy for kids. So it was, again, a complete...
See, I didn't know that part about you. That's wild, though.
It is. I think, so again, it was down all these podcasts. So apparently, I didn't realize in 2020, like when all of these online courses were happening, like I said, that's when my son was born. I didn't realize all these things were online, all these courses teaching how to do things. So through one of these podcasts I heard, it was a course on like how to start like a side hustle, how to do something on the side. And I was like, okay, like I could figure out how to do something after my working hours. And I thought it had to be something that I had, experience in. So that's kind of how it pivoted to the financial literacy piece, and it was for kids. So I also have now she's 16, a stepdaughter, but at the time she would have been 13, 14, and she was trying to find her first job, and we were trying to teach it, my husband and I trying to teach her about like, okay, this is what you should do with your paycheck instead of maybe just blowing it all. And I was like, we can give her that advice because we're both in finance, accounting, but what about, there are tons of kids that don't know like what to do with their first paycheck or things like this, and that's kind of where my mind was going. I was like, well, this maybe seems like a natural
fit
progression, into something I could do on the side.
That's so wild.
Yeah, so that's where that was. And then it was taking this course, it was kind of one of the exercises was like just make a whole list of like things you enjoy, things you're good at, things your friends come to you for advice for, and that's kind of where it's, but like on the list then it was like putting together outfits. And like I said, at the time I had like started following like these stylists or celebrity stylists on Instagram, and like it was in the back of my mind, and I was like, could I do something like that? And that's where it kind of sparked, and I ran with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So on your list, when you were making things about like what do others come to you for advice, finances wasn't on there.
I mean, I put it on there like because it's my job, so it was like but I was like, no one's coming to me.
Like your friends,
like my friend, my group chat,
I love that.
Yeah.
And not discounting your financial.
Yeah, I mean, but
your
yeah,
financial literacy.
Yeah.
I just meant like something wow. My mind's blown. I love that so much. Well, and and I think too, like when I was starting my business, I think it's natural, and when we're doing something as terrifying as saying, hey, I'm going to become a business owner, it's natural for our brains to go a little bit of a safer route. Like,
Yeah.
when I started my well, no, that's a fit. When I pivoted my business to virtual assistants, my focus was what I went to school for, because it seemed like, okay, people know that I have this authority. People know
Yes.
that I have this education and this background and this experience, and like they know there's proof.
Yeah.
This thing that's a little more where my passion lies is kind of scary and unknown, because like, where's my proof? Where's my proof? And sorry, my brain's doing this swirly thing where like, also it's kind of cool that finances and fashion do align, because we're sitting here talking about being ethical, being smart. And I mean, and I love what you said earlier, Erica, about like writing down how you wanted to feel, how you wanted to show up, how you wanted, like, our life is a story. Like, we are the main character of our story, and how we want to feel is important.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a good question to ask that was the first question you asked yourself. Like, how do I want to feel? Not how do I want other people to think about me? How do I want other people to judge me? Like, it wasn't about other people, it's about you. And I think sometimes we get caught up on like, oh, well, what are others going to think about my style and how I look? And it's like, that's not the main that's not the main point. Like, that's not the whole plot. It is about how you feel.
Yeah.
And I love that you took that leap of faith, and so like how did you pivot out of, okay, I'm going to start a side hustle for financial literacy for kids, which I still think is really freaking neat. My brain's never that you're so cool, because like that's something important, right? But how did you kind of, because I would assume, you're talking to your husband, you're talking to your people about this. How did you kind of pivot and be like, no, I don't want to do finance. I want to do fashion.
Again, that was
word, by the way, too. But
no, you're good.
Rolls off my tongue.
Yeah, it was, again, so like going through that course. We started to get into, okay, like when you're doing this, things are going to get hard. They're going to be tough. What you choose, you're going to have to come up with. It's going to be something you need to come back to, something you're not going to want to give up on. And when I kind of thought about that, I was like I like the idea of financial literacy for kids. Obviously, it's important. But I was like, if things do get tough, like, I feel like I might kind of abandon this.
It would be easier for you to walk away.
Or I was like, I'm excited about it now, like I'm talking about it with my daughter. So in my mind, it was, like the way I was thinking about it, like, oh, maybe I could do something in person at the rec center here. And I was like, I know this is important, and I can kind of get my daughter on board, but if I'm in a room of like teenagers and they're like, whatever, how excited am I going to be? Like, am I really going to be invested trying to get them amped up to talk about finances?
Yeah, like, are you even going to have the level of excitement?
Right.
Yep, I'm getting you. I get you. Your excitement literally wasn't there. From the
I was like, that's it. It's like, if someone's like, if you're excited, if you want to talk about like how to spend maybe your first paycheck, like, sure. If you're coming to me excited, like, I can do that. Like, I'm happy to help. I love to help. But if I am trying to convince a room of teenagers that, hey, saving your check, and this isn't, like, I was like, that's probably not.
You're like, I can hardly convince my own
right.
teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's hard. That's freaking hard.
Yeah, it's like, I would probably bail on this.
Right. But fashion, like, you already had that
yes,
excitement.
Like that. Yeah, that I love.
So cool. So freaking cool. So how did you continue to build that? I mean, this is kind of like a break-breaking moment where you were like, no, I don't want to go this traditional safe route that I went to school for. Like, I want to do what I'm excited about. I want to do what I can make other women feel excited about. Like, how did you stand firm in that? How did you continue to just roll with that?
So I continued to go further into my rabbit hole, and I was like on Reddit, and I was looking at like it was like a fashion thread on there. But I would see like post after post of like women being like, I just had my kid, or I have a toddler now and I can't get out of leggings. I can't. And I was like, this is exactly how I felt. Like, okay, I know. So now I see there are other people that are experiencing this. It's not just me. And so then I kind of like talked to friends, family. I put out like it was like a little Google form survey. I asked them to fill it out. Like, if I offered these different kind of services, would you be interested in this, or would you be interested in something like this, and just kind of ask for feedback that way. And I got good feedback. Like, people were super helpful. People were saying this is something I would be interested in. I think this would be really helpful. Like, it wasn't like, Erica, you've lost your mind. So I was like, all right, I'll keep going. And so from there, it was like I was kind of building the idea, and I like put together a little sheet in Canva of all the things I wanted to offer, a little write-up. And then I was on like Facebook groups, and I saw like different markets. And it was like, I went to one Facebook group, and it was one night, and it was like three that I saw. And my husband, he was traveling at the time. I don't remember where he was, but there was like a time difference. So it was night here, maybe like early morning there. And I texted, and I was like, I just found these like 3 markets, and I think I'm going to sign up for them before I lose my nerve. And he's like, go for it. And so I did it, and I was like, all right, well, I'm in now.
So you signed up to these markets to like go and present yourself?
Yeah.
I love that. You were like, no, I'm not just going to do one. I'm going to do 3.
Yeah, I was like,
home. Oh, that's so cool. And I love, it's really funny. When I texted my husband some big news, and he was like, I can just imagine like our husbands like getting these text messages. Like we're probably back here like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, right.
All the feelings, right? And then they get these messages, and they're like, okay, sure.
Yeah, like I said, probably like 6 in the morning there. He's like, I just woke up. Yeah.
I love that. So like you signed up for these 3 things, and you freaking went for it.
Yes, yeah. I was like, all right, I'm going to put a site together so I have somewhere to direct people. I'm going to buy a table, and this first one was like outdoor, so I bought like a little canopy tent thing, and I was like, I'm invested. And
have you ever gone to like a market or anything like that before?
No,
wow.
Absolutely
so
terrified.
You just said, screw it, I'm going for it.
That's why I was like, I have to sign up before I lose my nerve.
Erica, I love you so much. You're so cool. And yeah, you just figured out all of these things along the way.
Yeah.
How did those first 3 markets go?
Honestly, not great.
Oh. Okay, well, I mean, that happens too. Like, why weren't they great? Like, why? But you did them anyways, and you did all 3 of them?
I did. The first one, like I said, it was outdoors. And it was an outlet center, which I thought would be great. Okay, people are shopping. Maybe I can walk by, show them how to style the things I just bought, which I still don't think is a bad idea. It just so happened that this happened to be on like the windiest day of the year. So like there was no one really walking around. Where vendors were like leaving before the actual market started, they were like, we're out of here. This is going to be a disaster. And I was like, well, my husband already dropped me off. Like, I'm stuck here. I'm here for the day. So yeah, I just kind of stood at my table, and with my, like, literally there was like no one walking by. It was just the people in the market. And then at one point, like, it got so windy that like, so I had my canopy, and then like I had a banner printed to go like across the back. Mm-hmm. It literally caught the wind. It was required that our like canopies had to be weighed down. It was like at least like 60, 80 pounds. This thing was weighed down. The wind caught this thing and started to pull the canopy. Luckily, the woman next to me had like done it. She like jumped into action, because this thing would have taken me down. I was just standing there like, I don't even know what's happening. She like jumped into action, started pulling it back. Some other guy like sprinted across the parking lot to help her. They're like taking the banner down so it's not now like a sale. And I'm literally just standing there with my mouth open like,
I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Literally worthless. Like,
I'm not in Kansas anymore, or I am. No. This is a tornado, and what the hell do I do?
But yeah, so then at that point I texted my husband. I'm like, okay, so my whole stand just took flight. The canopy's now bent. I can't get it back up. I'm gonna need you to come pick me up early.
SOS.
Yes.
I'm sorry for laughing, but I've
done
markets before too, and I know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was your very first one.
That was my, yes, very first one.
But you were like, I can do a second one.
Yeah, so I was like discouraged, but I was like, okay, like that wasn't my fault. Like it was windy.
I couldn't control any of that.
Right?
Yeah,
no.
Totally out of my control. I
wouldn't have been out.
No matter what. Everyone else had a shitty day too.
Yes. So second one, this one was at a country club. And I was like, all right, this one, it wasn't like a holiday market. I don't remember. Was it? No, because it was earlier in the year. So I don't remember what it was for, but it was like a vendor market at a country club. And I was like, okay. I kid you not. I was seated next to, it was at least like a 30-piece band. They're not on a marching band. But they were sitting, and I remember they were warming up after I had set up, and I remember the conductor being like, okay guys, there's low ceilings in here, like we need to take it easy today. And I was like, is this for real? So the entire time I sat next to this band for 3 hours. It was so loud. I had the worst headache. Any people that did stop by, I could not hear them. They could not hear me. Yeah. So that was a disaster number 2. And then the third event I did was actually geared towards moms. It was in a park. It was a nice day. This one, at this point, I was like pretty discouraged. I'm not gonna lie. I did not have high hopes. But this one, actually, this is where I could talk to people. People could actually hear me. People were walking around, and again, it was people when they like saw what I was doing, they were excited about the idea. They were signing up for the raffle I had, and I was like, then it felt like validation. I was like, okay, I can keep going with this.
Yeah. So that third one actually ended up turning out. Third time was a charm.
Yes.
Like the universe was just going to test you a little bit to see if it could strike you out, and you were like, no, baby, I'm going to hit a home run. I'm going to hit my home run in the park with the moms. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we all go through trial and errors and right? And I think that really speaks to, and you just keep saying it, like excitement, like, and I think we forget about that, like, especially I worked in finance for like literally 90 days. And I got laid off when COVID hit. So there you go. But my mom did finance. My grandmother did finance. And like, with all due respect, I feel like I get to say this. Finance is not exciting.
No, it's not.
It's not. And I mean, some people do find excitement in it. But like, it's not, it's a hard topic to find excitement in the way we want to find excitement and joy in the things that we do. And so I think that when we can remember, okay, these hard things are happening, these situations out of my control are happening, like, gosh, I have a really bad headache right now, and I don't ever want to do an event again. But you're like, but I think that that excitement that we carry in our guts, and the excitement we want to see in other people and have with other people, like, that's what drives us. Like, were you necessarily excited about the logistical aspects of it at this point? No, but you were like, but this is my joy, this is my why, I'm gonna freaking push through. And so after that, events, like showing up at events and things like that, did that just kind of become a staple of your business?
Kind of, like, that's how I still to this day, like, just meet people. Like I said, like, I have an Instagram account, but it like sometimes that I find frustrating. So like, I'll put things out to like market myself there, but I feel like a lot easier to meet people. Like, if I can do it in person, I'd prefer to do it that way.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so that was kind of the start with the events.
I love that. And so, I mean, I know today, are you still in finance?
No, so technically I still have my CPA.
Right.
I'll keep up with that, just have it in my back pocket. But no, I am not. So earlier this year, March, I left to pursue this full time, which is just still wild. Still feels absolutely insane.
Well, and I love it so much, because everyone's going to get sick of me at this point. Did we meet at Jenny Boyer's networking
We did,
event?
yes.
Is that where we met? Okay, I figured that.
Yes.
But I mean, and so that was a year ago, and that was before you left your job.
Yes, that was before I left, yeah.
And I remember, like, we connected and we started talking and becoming friends and, you know, business baddie besties. And I knew that was a goal of yours.
Yeah.
And I remember when you started talking about, I don't remember if you mentioned it to me that you were leaving or if I got the news with everybody else. But I remember when I knew it was going to happen, and I was so freaking pumped for you.
Yeah.
So you just took that leap.
Kind of, yeah. Again, so I feel like it's been like a crazy turn of events. Like,
of course it has.
Even, yeah. Like it was, I don't know who I told this to, but it's been wild because so as part of my whole like business journey last year when I was still working full time, like I would get up early to just write. I found that helped a lot, just to kind of clear my mind. If I was feeling frustrated about something, excited, like I would get up and write just to get it out on paper, go back upstairs, try and sneak up, not wake up my kids, shower and get ready for work. But looking back on like my entries over the past, every day, like I got to get out of this job. I need to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this. It's actually wild looking back to like how many times I wrote. It was like every day. It was like, oh, Erica, this is getting a little redundant, but
that's how you felt.
It was rough. Like, so it's actually this is October right now. October 15th is like our huge tax deadline, and so around that time it's busy, like crazy long hours, and so I didn't have time for business related things. I was barely like seeing my kids. Like, would be lucky if I got home in time to see them before they went to bed. Yeah. And so it was just things like that, like piling on. Like, one, I didn't want to do accounting, but it was like, all right, I'm an adult. This is what I need to do at the time. But it got to be to the point where like I wasn't seeing my family. It just didn't make sense. And again, it was my husband that kind of encouraged me earlier this year. Like, if this is something you want to do, like, now's the time. Go for it. Try it.
I love that. That. And that's so honest too. And I think it's something, it's something I feel, it's something I know other women feel like, because we are who we are. Like, we do what we need to do as adults at the time, right? Like but that doesn't mean that we don't have the end goal in mind. Yeah. And, I think too, like when we start feeling this cagedness and like we're trapped and like someone else is controlling us to the extent where they are controlling our families, it's like, oh no, like I'm done. Like I'm done. And it's so much more meaningful too, when our partners are like, go for it. Like when they see that too, that's just because I know not everybody has that, and I feel very lucky to have a partner who's like, I support you in this. We're gonna work through the hard times, and we're just gonna frickin' do it. We're just gonna frickin' do it. And that's kind of, so I don't want to forget to ask you this question, but everyone knows that I'm a little feral, and I think we all have. Erica's like, yes, I know her, she is. But I think we all have a little feralness in us, because if we weren't feral, then we wouldn't have gone out on this crazy ledge and said, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna be a business owner and a mom and a CFO of my house, and I'm gonna do all the things. Like, there's some level of crazy in there, right? But I mean, when you think of feral, I mean, what does feral mean to you, to Erica? The very put together wardrobe, the wardrobe staple. What's feral mean to you?
So I don't know. I don't want to call it a tangent, but my mind, it works in like movie quotes and references. So I apologize, but
do it. Give me a tangent. I love a good tangent.
Anytime I hear the word, I think of two things. First, I don't know if you've watched the movie Zootopia with your kids, but it's all about. Oh, you got to watch it. It's very good. Okay. But it's about the animals, the predatory animals going savage. And in the movie, it's a negative connotation, but that's what it always makes me think of, like these animals that can no longer be controlled. I don't want to say they're going wild. In the movie, they're going wild, but they can no longer be controlled. They can't be tamed. I think of that, and then I also think of the movie Mean Girls. It's the part where Regina George has made copies of the burn book. She's thrown everything all over the school, and the other 3 girls are in the principal's office, and one of the teachers comes in and she's like, Mr. Duvall, the girls have gone wild. And it makes me think of that, like, again, we're not taking any shit. Like, we're done.
Yeah.
We can't. It's that, like, we're over it. We're doing things our own way now.
I love that. I forgot. Now I really want to watch Mean Girls, but again, when do I have time to watch TV?
Yeah.
But that's, and I mean, again, I'm pretty sure they played the animal noises in that scene in Mean Girls too.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
And again, like, I mean, it, like, you get this absolute, like, insane visual where animals are running loose and making lots of noise and making a mess. And I think, and it's not necessarily that side of it, but like you said, it's like, we're done taking your shit. Like, we don't want, like, we don't want to do the safe, expected, comfortable thing anymore.
Yeah.
We want to do the thing that scares us. We want to go wild and do something that everyone told us not to do, that we couldn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of the thing that makes people question us a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh, now I'm gonna have to watch Mean Girls and Zootopia with my kids.
Yes.
But
No one ever able to watch those the same.
Right. I just love that. I love that. And Erica, you have become one of my good friends in this crazy business mom life. But I just think you are so empowering too, because you show up as you. So I mean, I love, and I have loved to see you show up as you more and more on the internet. You made that comment earlier, like, Instagram is frustrating.
Yeah.
Instagram frustrates me too, but like, I have loved seeing the way you show up there more and more. I think it's just so cool, and I think sometimes we think about, like, fashion and getting ready and motherhood as, like, these two separate things, and like like, if we focus on our fashion, or if we care about, like, I think society has made this standard, like, we're just not supposed to care about it anymore. Like, it's this selfish, frivolous thing, and it's like, well, I can't walk around naked every day, so like, I might as, like, why wouldn't I care? Like, why would I not care about this thing that you want to make me feel crappy for giving a shit? Okay, cool, whatever, get away from me. But and see, now I went on a tangent, but you make it relatable. Like, you're not out here saying, like, go buy Gucci, go buy Prada, go buy things that, like, make you aren't telling women how they need to dress or what fashion they should be wearing. You're just saying, we need to find what works for you and what you love and, like, what fits into your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I had mentioned to you before, like, I'm a t-shirt girl, and you're like, okay, buy t-shirts with intention, Ashley.
Yeah, I'm in a t-shirt right now. I love nothing more.
Navy, baby.
Yes.
But it's
like
colors, so I feel good.
But yeah, that's what, like, I feel like I struggle with that on Instagram. Is you see that all the time, like, buy this and you need this, and giving these recommendations, and I understand why people find them helpful. But again, like, that's how I feel like I got caught up in this, and something I really try to avoid. Like, obviously, if there's something someone asks me about, you want a link, I'm not gatekeeping it or anything like that. Right. But I don't want to constantly be inundating people with links, or you need this or you need that. We're all different. I at the end of the day, I just want to help you find your style and what makes you feel good.
So how can we work with you? How do you do that, Erica?
Yeah, so
because I think I need you. I think after this call, I need you.
So our main service, it's called the Curated Capsule Wardrobe, which is, we start with a closet edit. So I kind of hinted at this before, but we'll go through the closet, look at what's not getting worn, what doesn't fit, things you just don't like. I'll pack those up and donate them for you. And then we'll create outfits out of the pieces that remain, because that's a big thing I find in people's closets, is they have these clothes and they feel like, okay, well, I can wear like, I can create X number of outfits. And it's like, well, wait, what about we pair this and this? And it's, that light bulb goes off that, oh, I've never even thought of that. And so we create a ton of outfits that they're already in your closet. Like, you have them right there. I just help a little bit with that. And
because sometimes we can't see our own vision.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, sorry,
So,
keep going.
no, you're good. So right off the bat, you start with all these outfits we've created. I take pictures of all of them as we go through and create a little lookbook for you. And the next step is I will then, through the closet edit, I'll identify any wardrobe gaps that we find or things you feel like you're missing, and then I'll do the shopping for you. I'll put together a little capsule of the gaps you're missing, whether that's clothes, shoes, accessories, whatever it is we have discussed that you need, and put a capsule together around that. So then you'll get an additional lookbook where it's now I've created outfits out of these new pieces we found. I'm integrating the pieces you already have. So now you've got this whole contained capsule you can reference at any time. I'll send you over all the links and you can then shop them at your own pace.
I love that. I love that. Especially the links part. I mean, I already said earlier, like, it's really hard for us to see our own vision. You know, having someone else's eyes, especially someone who is a professional, who has the experience in this. I mean, because I think, too, it's daunting as someone to be like, oh, my gosh, she's going to come in. She's going to get rid of my whole closet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have any clothes left.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go spend a bunch more money on clothes. Because as moms, we are conscientious of that. But I love that you use what we already have.
Yeah.
And then as a mom, or just as me in general, someone like just saying, here are all the links. Here you go. Here's what, you know, and do it when it works for you.
Yes.
And like, oh, I can do it all from my home too, pretty much. I don't have to go to the mall or anything like that.
Yeah.
How amazing.
Yeah, it's just
and time saving.
That's fine. Like, the time commitment is like about 2 hours for the closet edit. We'll clean out the closet together,
Which
and
is
then
fun, you know,
I'll take care of everything else.
Time.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Are there any other offers you have going on?
And so that's my main service. So then if you feel like you just need the closet edit, like, I can pair it back to that. But right now, those are the two main offerings. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I will definitely, I keep looking at my closet. I'm like, I want to do this now. Well, I will definitely make sure. And I know you also have, because I think I did this recently, you also have on your Instagram like a free style quiz. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I hear a lot. People say I don't have style or I don't know what my style is. So I've created a little quiz for you. And it is geared towards mom. So it's find your iconic mom style. So you'll take the quiz. It's a quick 2-minute quiz. And at the end, you'll be matched with an iconic mom from TV or movies. Based on your style, and then you'll get a little Pinterest board at the end, obviously based on your style of outfit inspiration.
So a great little way to start, like, you know, testing it out on our own.
Yes, I would say that's the starting point.
How fun. Very, very cool. And I know that you still do some local events and things like that too.
Yes.
So if you're local to our area, you know,
yes,
you might get an Erica spotting out in the wild.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, and I will make sure to include your Instagram link and a link to your website in the show notes, so our friends can definitely make sure to check you out. But is there anything?
Please check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us or let us know or anything like that, Erica?
No, that is all I have going on right now. But like I said, I am trying to pop up more in the community. So again, if you want to follow on Instagram, I'll post everything there, and I hope to see you out soon.
So cool, Erica. I am so appreciative of you taking the time today, and I'm appreciative of what you offer us. I know I'm a little biased because, like, you're super important to me, but, like, I think everyone needs a little bit of Erica in their life. Please make sure to check Erica out. Follow her on Instagram. Take the style quiz. You deserve this, Mama. And just thank you for taking the time to remind us that we all do deserve this, and you know, finding our style, defining our new normal. It's all part of the journey of motherhood.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Well, friends, I am so thankful that you have joined us for another episode of Making Herstory, where we tell the feral stories of female CEOs. If you enjoyed this episode, give me a follow, leave a 5-star review, and continue to follow along to hear more stories about the amazing things women are doing every single day. I hope to see you all next week. I'm Ashley Crabb. Have a good one.
You've been listening to Making Herstory. Remember, your story isn't optional. It's your fire, your power, and the heartbeat of every space you build. So take up space, tell it raw, and keep building the kind of legacy that can't be ignored. It's Ashley Crabb, and I'll be back with more bold, brave, feral stories soon. And if you want to stay feral with me, hit subscribe, share this with your sisters, and let's make herstory louder together.